The Slim Show.
Hi, it's Georgia Woodbine. How are you?
Good. How you doing, Georgia?
I'm doing great.
Okay, Georgia. Now you're a motivational speaker, right?
Right?
And you wrote a book on how to attract the right man into your life, I believe it's called.
Absolutely.
Okay. What should a woman do to attract the right man?
Well, there are a lot of things a woman should do. I mean, that's what we're going to be discussing today. The first thing is finding out who she is and what she wants in a man, because I think a lot of women are so used to dealing with old baggage of old relationships that they keep repeating the same mistake. So the first thing is finding out who you are, what you want, and how you're going to get it.
It's interesting. It's interesting you say that because I've always noticed that with girls where it's like every single guy they go out with, it seems like the same guy. It's like he's gonna do the same things to you that the other guy did, and it's just that's crazy, you know.
Right. It becomes like like a pattern, a bad pattern. So yeah, I talk about that stuff in the book too, about like how to change things, because if you want to see something different, you got to do something different, and that's really what it's about. I have a lot of goofy stuff to talk about.
Do you think girls just do that because like that's what they're attracted to, so they need to change like what they're attracted to, basically? Then.
Well, I wouldn't say that's necessary. I think it's what they're used to, and I think people are comfortable with what they're used to. And when you're used to something, you're going to keep repeating it because it feels good for you. It's like a security blanket. But when you start doing things differently, it's a little bit scary because you don't really know what to expect, and it's really out of your comfort zone. So, I mean, I don't necessarily think it's like because that's what they want to attract. I think it's because it's something that they know and that they're used to.
That's interesting. I almost feel like that applies for like a lot of things in life too, that people just are in their comfort zones with things and don't go out of it, and it's really all about getting out of your comfort zone with a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what do you feel is the most important thing in a relationship? Like material things, or?
Well, one of the most important things is, of course, friendship. Because if you don't have friendship in a relationship after the sex is gone, what do you have?
Yeah, that's it. It gets to the point where, like, the honeymoon phase is over, I feel, and you're more companions than anything else.
Exactly. And you want to feel like when you're in a relationship, you want to feel like I want to spend the time with this person, not like I have to. You don't want to feel forced. And you want it to be natural. And that's why I say it's so important to leave the sex out in the beginning, because you don't really know if you like somebody or not if you have sex too soon, because you're too emotionally attached to the person. You get too emotionally involved. But when you're friends, you get to see the true colors, and you get to see this is somebody I really like just spending time with, even when I'm not intimate with them, and that makes a big difference.
Being a guy, I kind of disagree with that, because it seems like if I befriend a girl and we become close friends, eventually it's just they don't want to date you anymore because you're in that
you've
like
been it too
friend
long,
zone.
and you just get friend zoned.
Not necessarily. I don't think that's true, because I think that women are attracted to men that are very confident, and if you do decide to become a woman's friend, she's going to appreciate that about you, and that you're not really trying to force her into something, or that you're looking at her in that light where it's like, women think, or guys think that, females and males can't be just friends. But if you start spending time with this person, they start seeing that other side of you, then they're going to become emotionally connected to you. And it goes for women and men. I think the best relationships are those where you're emotionally connected, because it's something more than what you see on the surface. And for it to develop into something stronger, it has to be something more.
Now, I saw one of your other interviews, and I liked what you said, to see how the guy acted around his family and his children, and that was a good way to see what he was really like.
Of course, because when you first meet a woman, or when a woman first meets a guy, it's their representative that shows up. So they want you to look at them a certain way. They're going to put on a certain type of act to make you to feel like they want to impress you. And when you get past that honeymoon stage, as I call it, when you meet somebody, it's like all about trying to impress this person, and then you start getting to know the person, and it's like, do I really like what I see? So you have to. That's why I say it's so important for the friendship, because if you don't get past that stage and you get intimate and you get emotionally involved. Now it becomes a thing even with the guy. Okay, how am I going to break up with this girl? How am I not going to how am I not going to hurt her feelings? Without her thinking I'm trying to use her, or vice versa for the woman. So that's why I say it's important. And I know sometimes it's hard for men to do that because they're physical beings, and it's about the physical, and that's what a man first sees in the beginning. But, I mean, for it to be something that's long-lasting and something that's going to develop into something stronger and have, like, a stronger foundation, it has to start out as friends.
So now I'm just a little confused to what you're saying is, do you mean to say then that you should agree to be in a relationship with somebody but keep the sexual element out, or are you saying you should be friends with somebody first, and then if you guys are comfortable and hit it off, then call it a relationship?
I'm saying the latter. I'm saying be friends with someone. Don't rush it. Don't label it. Don't try to force it. I'm saying let things fall into place. Be friends with somebody. Enjoy that person's company, and not put any pressure on either person, and see what happens. That's what I'm saying.
But isn't that going to
exactly
be
what I'm saying.
Isn't that going to be hard for the people though? If say I befriend a girl and I try to go about it that way, right? And she starts just seeing other guys and having sex with other men, then aren't I kind of just a loser in it all?
Well, maybe you picked the wrong girl.
Why would you say that? Why would you say you're the loser? Because you feel like someone else is, like, you're spending time with the girl and doing all these other things, and she's giving it up to somebody else.
Well, all my friends would think I'm a loser if I'm hanging out.
Oh, yeah.
We call that. You call that the gay friend, That's
You'd be the gay friend, and we would all bust your balls.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't put all the blame on the men, but I do believe that as women, we also have to give the good guys a chance. I think sometimes women get caught up into, like, the man's physical appearance, or how much money he has in the bank, or how much assets he has, and these are also things I talk about in the book, where women have to eliminate those things and focus more on a guy's characteristics, opposed to, the external tangibles that they think they can get from this relationship. Because I always say it's like you can't attract what you're not going to become. So if you're broke and you're not trying to change your life, and you're not aspiring to do things for yourself, how can you expect to get that from the man? So, become what you want to attract. And you can't just put all the pressure on the men and say, okay, you need to do this, you need to do this, and they're looking at you like saying, but you're a mess. So it's a two-way street. Women have work to do, too, on themselves. It's not just the men. It's definitely a two-way street.
Okay, yeah. Well, what happens when you get, like, you've been in a relationship and you kind of just get in a rut, things just seem boring or whatever? What's a good thing to do then?
Well, it's so funny you mentioned that, because I did an interview the other day, and they were talking about, what happens when a woman has a good man and she cheats. And I said, well, apparently there's something missing in that relationship, because if the juices are not there anymore, something's missing, and you don't have that attraction that you initially had. Obviously, it's either something is missing emotionally, someone's missing something. This other person's making this person not feel good about themselves. So it's something deeper than what they think it is. It's something missing from that relationship. And communication. You have to communicate with the person you're with. If you're having sex with this person, you don't like something, or you would like something, you need to communicate that. If you like to go certain places, and you like to travel, and you like to explore, you have to voice it out to this person that you're with, and not feel like you're going to offend them, because what happens is you start to harbor all these feelings, and then this person feels like they're neglected, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, well, he's not doing this, or she's not doing this, so you know what, I'm going to go with my girlfriends, I'm going to meet a guy, okay, he starts showing me attention, and now you're looking for a void or something that's not being fulfilled, and that's why you start to feel that way.
Okay.
So what I'm kind of getting from what your beliefs are then is that, because like I've been told a lot from my friends and other guys and stuff that I'm too nice sometimes, and that I got to be mean to girls, and that's why girls won't date me, because I'm not mean enough to them. But what you're saying is that's
ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. So if a girl does fall for a guy that's being mean to her, it's her problem. Because that's something she needs to fix. It's not,
Listen, the woman that falls for the guy that's mean to her means that she has personal issues. It's not you. It's
Daddy
her.
issues.
It's her problem because, and this is another thing I talk about in the book. You know, you got to give the nice guys a chance. I think that a lot of times we as women tend to compare the old guy to the new guy, as you mentioned earlier. It's like, okay, well, this guy used to do this, and okay, this new guy's not doing that. But you know, it's really not about that. It's about, okay, what do we have things in common? You know, I always talk about, like, there's a lot of people out there that's married to somebody else's soulmate. So what I mean when I say that is that they got together, they got intimate, they had kids, they got married, they got into this relationship, but they never really took the time to get to know one another to even find out their likes and dislikes, or even if they enjoy doing the same thing. So you find that there's people in a relationship for years, and then they find out that, wow, I don't really like you.
Yeah.
I mean, I love you, but I don't like you. And, you know, it's sad, but it's very true.
Now, are there women out there that like to get hit and stuff? Because sometimes you just hear...
Why would you say that? No one likes to get hit.
No, because
What's this guy's name? What's this guy's name that just, he just lost his contract with all these endorsement companies because he hit his woman in the elevator and she later on married him.
That was Ray Rice.
Ray Rice.
Ray Rice. Listen, I don't think women like to get hit, okay? Just let me clarify that. I think that women that are in abusive relationships are scarred women, and a lot of times it could be one or two things. Either they're afraid of getting out of the relationship, or it could be that they think this man's really going to change. And that's another problem that women have when they get with guys and they think that, okay, he's going to change. For instance, if you meet a woman and the guy says to the woman, listen, I'm not looking for anything serious, you have to take that literally. You can't think that just by having sex with this guy, he's going to want to be with you.
Yeah.
And, you know, I talk about it in the book. Like, don't think that your sex is going to make him change because he told you initially he's not looking for anything serious. Now you're pissed off because you know that he's talking to other women, but he told you that from the very beginning. So how can you be pissed off?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of women seem to want to change a man or something like that.
You can't change a man. I mean, a man is set in his ways. It's like, you know, you cannot make him become what you want him to become. He's going to be the way he is. I'm not saying that men can't grow and they can't become better. I do think that, you know, if a man meets a woman that really touches him deeply, that may make him want to become better. I'm not saying change into a completely different person, but I do think the right woman for a man can make him, you know, blossom, can make him become a better person. As an individual and as a couple, I think that can happen. So it's really not about, you know, going into something thinking, okay, I can change this person, I can make this person better, but they have to want that. And, you know, like the whole thing about attracting the right man is about finding out who you are as an individual, knowing who you are, loving yourself. Because if you don't love yourself and you think you're going to meet somebody that's going to make you happy, that's going to make you have this feel-good feeling, you're fooling yourself. Because you're going to be walking around miserable.
Slim loves himself a lot. He loves himself way too much.
Because, well, only I have to love myself because I'm too nice to girls to get anyone to go out with me.
Well, that's the first step. You're halfway there. Because if you love yourself, then it's not about you looking for this relationship to complete you. Because no one should complete you. They should compliment you. They shouldn't complete you. You should come into the relationship complete. You know, it's not, okay, well, you know, I'm now, you know, this person's going to fit the pieces together, because if those pieces, a lot of times people have issues from childhood, people have issues from past relationships, people have, you know, all types of baggage that they have, that they bring into relationships. And if you don't deal with those before you try to find that woman you want to marry or that man you want to marry, then it's just going to be a revolving door, just like that door. Just keep going around, and it's just moving. But it's not moving anywhere, but it's just keep going in the same direction all the time.
Yeah.
You know? So, you know, women definitely need to start reevaluating where they're looking for these men. Because if you're saying that you want to attract the right men and you keep going to clubs thinking you're going to meet your husband, then that's a problem.
Yeah, that's not a good
You
place
know.
to meet anybody.
Well, I mean, if you're looking for a one night stand, I mean, you tell me. Why don't you tell me what are guys looking for? You tell me from a male's point of view. What are men looking for when they go to a club?
Just sex,
Are they
pretty much.
looking to
Yeah,
party?
Yeah, just pretty much sex.
That's what I would think. I never did that.
I mean, I think a bar is a little different. Like being a guy, I'll go to a bar to try to meet girls. You know, because we don't
Mm-hmm.
Because
have
you actually
many
talk to
yeah,
people at a
Drunk
bar.
girls.
drunk girls. But where now, where would you recommend people to go to meet other people? Like, do you think they should meet each other on the internet? Should you date people you work with, or should you be going out to a bar and trying to meet someone?
Well, the whole thing I talk about is it's not about seeking. I don't think you should seek or look. I think you should attract. I think we all have the power to attract. So I think you can meet somebody if you go to the coffee shop. If you're carrying that energy where you're approachable and you want to attract this person, I believe that they can come to you. So it's not so much about looking or seeking or, looking out for this thing. It's more about the energy that you're presenting, saying, okay, I'm ready to attract this woman, that I'm looking for, that I want to have. It could be in the library. It could be at the bookstore. It could be at Starbucks. It could be at the gym. It could be, just strolling down in Manhattan. It's not about seeking. That's the whole premise of this book. It's about attracting. It's not about seeking, because what happens when you seek something, a lot of people, look for things that they want, but it's not necessarily what they need.
That's a very interesting thought, and I
Yeah.
kind of feel like that it also has a lot to do with people need to actually get out and do stuff, because a lot of guys, they don't go out enough or don't actually go and live a life. Like, they'll just sit home and play video games or work on a silly podcast or or something like that. And so then when we do want to go and meet a girl, we think, oh, I probably should go to the bar. But what you're saying is you should be active in the outside world and going out and doing things.
Doing things that you love to do, because when you're out doing things that you love to do, you're happier, and that energy vibrates through you, and people are attracted to that energy. So basically I'm saying, do the things that you love to do. Don't think about, okay, I got to have this woman near me. I got to have this woman, I got to have this type of girlfriend. Just do the things you enjoy.
And be
enjoy
yourself.
living life. You have to enjoy life. And
Yeah.
when you're at that place, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, you attract things that you never thought possible.
That's good. Where are you from, Georgia?
I am from New York,
Okay.
Big Apple.
Ha. Yeah, we're in dirty Jersey. The armpit right below it.
So now, what made you decide to write this book on why do you want to, teach women how to attract the right man in their life?
Well, first of all, let me tell you guys, I don't teach what I don't know, and I don't lead where I don't go. So this book basically was birthed from my personal experience, being single for 10 years, looking for Mr. Right, and I realized I shouldn't have been looking, that I shouldn't have been, attracting, not looking
Yeah.
or seeking. And, I'm successful, I'm independent, and, I don't want to toot my own horn, but I'm good looking. And I kept saying, what the hell's going on? Why can't I find this guy? I was thinking at one point that I was too intimidating to guys, and I couldn't, attract somebody because I was just too intimidating. But I realized that, I was comfortable in my own skin. I wasn't going to change and make myself become a dumb blonde to, to make a guy like me, or change who I am to make a man feel better about himself. I just said, this is who I am. If a man wants to accept me the way I am, he will. And if he doesn't, he won't. But, I got to that place where I was just happy with me. I would go out alone. I would go have dinner by myself, or a nice glass of wine, or a nice Italian meal. And I felt good, even though I wasn't sitting there with a guy. And I think sometimes women do tend to settle, and they'll just go out with a guy that they're totally not interested in just to have some company. And I totally do not recommend that, because you are wasting your time.
So were you like going out like by yourself, or did you go out with like groups of friends?
Sometimes I went with groups of friends. Sometimes I went out alone. You know, I think that whole experience of enjoying yourself, enjoying being with yourself is so important. It's like going on a date with yourself.
Yeah, I've gone to movies myself.
You don't enjoy
People
your
think
own
that's
company.
weird.
What?
I've gone to movies myself, and a lot of people have thought that was weird.
That's not weird at all. That you are totally comfortable in your skin.
Yeah.
And I've done that many a time.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that cannot do that, and I think it's more of the majority.
Yeah, that's what I think. That can't do it.
Now I also want to know is when you were going out and stuff, did you have men like approaching you, or like how did you meet Mr. Right? Did he approach you while you were out on one of these, enjoying yourself, or did you have to approach him?
Well, I got to tell you guys a story how I met my Mr. Right, because my Mr. Right, I've known him for 15 years, and we just got married in July of this year.
Wow.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Thank you. So I've known this man for many, many years, but I didn't know he was my Mr. Right because I didn't see him. I didn't look at him in that light. And that's my whole point, with the friendship thing. Because sometimes you think somebody's just your friend, but you don't understand that that's going to make the best possible partner for you. Because if you're best friends with this person, you know this person, you accept this person with all their flaws, all their, bad and good.
Yeah.
And it just makes a great pair, because there's no expectations, or there's no preconceived notions of, okay, well, you need to be this or you need to be that. It's like, I accept you for who you are, and that's basically how I attracted my Mr. Right. I was in a place in my life where I wasn't even looking for a relationship at the time. I was just like, okay, I'm just dating. And I had my son at a very young age, so I didn't get to date as, like I should have. So when my son got older, I said, I want to start dating. So I started just dating and going out, just meeting different people. And I was just totally comfortable with that because I never got to do that. But then, there was this one guy that I told you I knew for 15 years, and we started spending a lot of time together. We both love live music. We both love Broadway. We both love just being in the outdoors. We both love nature. And we just started spending time together. And it was just fun. It was just fun. We would go out. We would laugh. We would talk. We talk about people.
And there was
I like that.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's cool though. That he was there all along. I like that.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Exactly. So that made it so much more easier, and in a good way, not in a negative way. Talk about people, but sometimes when you're with somebody and you're totally comfortable with that person, and you're like, that guy, you could kind of like really like express yourself and not feel like, okay, this person's going to judge me because I said this or I said that.
So then with him, when you guys were just friends and hanging out a lot, there was no sex, or did you guys?
No sex.
No sex.
Wow.
Not in the beginning.
Did he like try coming on to you in a sexual way, and you told him no, or
no? Of course he did.
And he stuck around. That's good. Most guys would be out.
Of course he did, but I have to tell you, as a woman, what I respected most about him is that he respected what I wanted. And because I kept telling him, this is not what I want right now, I just want you to be my friend. And he respected that. And, he may have come on to me sometimes when we're out drinking or whatever, but he totally respected that, and he never crossed that line with me. He respected how I felt, and that's what made me develop those strong feelings for him, because I said, you know what, this guy loves me so much that he might, he wants to get intimate with me, he wants to be with me, but he's just so content with just spending time with me and being with me that he's putting that aside and saying, you know what, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't, but I'm going to respect her space and what she wants. That's kind of what attracted me.
Was he sleeping with other girls while he was just being friends with you, or no, he was
I totally told him it was okay. You know,
Right.
I said, we're friends, if that's what you want to do. I mean, I understand men have needs. I'm not going to say, that's like being selfish to tell a man, okay, you're just my friend, but you can't sleep with other women. I mean, you have to be honest with yourself, be honest with that person, and say, okay, I understand you have needs, but this is not what I want right now, and I really enjoy spending time with you, and I really want to get to know you, and be upfront with the person about what you want and what you don't want. And I totally was like, okay, if you want to see other people, that's fine, because I didn't really feel like we were seeing each other. I felt like we were just hanging out, and that's the term I would constantly use that I talk about in my book. Never put labels, never put a label on it. We're just hanging out. That's what I say all the time. We're just hanging out. That's it. And I think sometimes men are attracted to that with women because sometimes men are so used to women throwing themselves at them and saying, and so desperate for a label, and I want to be your girlfriend, and texting you all the time and wanting to know what you did, where you went, who you were with. I think that it's a refreshing to a man when a woman's comfortable in her own skin and she's not chasing him. That becomes attractive to a man.
So now, do you think that like this method will work for everyone? Like, you think everyone can do this? That they could be friends with somebody and then eventually turn it into a relationship? Or
I mean, I'm saying that's what worked for me. I think that's the best way. That's why I ended up married today. I'm saying if you're looking for something serious and you're looking for something long term, of course, this is not for people that's just looking to, have flings or one night stand. There's some people that's totally comfortable with that. There's some people that don't want to get married. There's some people that they just want to have experiences with different people. So, of course, different strokes for different folks. But I'm talking to the people that are looking for something more meaningful, looking for something of substance, looking for something that that's valuable to them. And that's somebody that they know that whether I have my makeup on, or I look good today, or I don't have my makeup on and I look like totally busted, you're still going to love me either way, So, it's different strokes for different folks, but this is really for people that are really serious about attracting that right person. Okay. And that's why I say it's attracting. It's not about seeking. It's always about attracting. And not just relationships. I'm talking about everything. You can attract whatever you want, whether it's the job you want, the finances you want. I mean, it's all about what you believe you can have. And if you don't feel you deserve it, you'll never have it.
So do you think that a guy should just make as many female friends as he can and not really think like, I'm going to sleep with this one or that one, just think like, I'm going to have as many female friends as I can?
Well, I think it's really impossible for men to do that because I don't think they're built that way. I think it's very, and it's okay because, I always tell women in the book, if you want to connect with a man, connect with him emotionally, and you'll never have to worry about if he wants you or not. Because when you connect emotionally with a man, that's what really attracts a man. It's not just a physical thing, because men get tired of that. It's not just, okay, good sex, because you can have good sex for months and months and months, and then all of a sudden the guy's like, okay, all right, well, what else is there? So, I mean, it's just really just going out there, meeting people, and being upfront about what you want and what you don't want, because not every woman you want to have is just a friend. There's some women that you're looking at and you're like, okay, I really want to sleep with this one. So,
Right.
I mean, you have to be honest with yourself and you need to be honest with the person and not mislead the person, especially men that do this. And I'm not saying all do, but I think a majority do, with misleading women to make them think they really want to get serious, and then the only thing they're looking for is to get laid. So, men need to be upfront and women need to be upfront and stop playing games. That's another chapter I talk about, about playing games, game elimination, why people play so many games, and, okay, why can't people just be upfront about what they really want?
Okay. All right, Georgia, it was really great talking to you. We had a lot of fun. Why don't you tell the people where they can find all your stuff, and then we're going to let you go, okay?
Thank you very much. They can visit my website, www.georgiawoodbine.net, and I'm also starting a new online talk show, so I want you guys to definitely check that out, and you can go to my site. It's going to be on my YouTube channel, which is Georgia Woodbine. So, I'm really excited about a lot of things I'm doing. And if they want to get a copy of the book, again, they can go to www.georgiawoodbine.net.
All right, Georgia.
Awesome.
You take care. Thank you.
Thank you,
you so
guys.
much.
Take care.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.